Welcome to the Pioneer Sideline, episode 136 coming at you. I'm your host, Aaron Cooney. And hey, the Pioneers, both teams in the playoffs, but we got to recap the week that was to show you how they got there. We'll start off with the women's team. They had 2 games on their slate just this past week. The number 22 ranked team in the nation, they moved up a couple spots, even despite the loss to Walsh just last week. They were taking on Carlow University on this Tuesday. It was Valentine's Day, and also Carlow celebrating their Pink Day as well as we take you to the action. First up for the Pioneers, you see Katrisa Savitsky warming up, also April Austin, and things getting underway. Kicking things off, first play of the game here, Emily Shartner hitting the 3, start things off. It's 3-0 in favor of the Pioneers. And then April Austin, she's starting to heat up just a little bit here from near side wing. 3-ball for herself. And then how about back, Jack, do it again. Austin one more time from the top of the key. 16-1, the Pioneers lead to start off this game. Here we go, 6 minutes in. Olmsted gets the rebound from the elbow there. That's their first field goal. And as I mentioned, 6 minutes in for them. Pioneers were up big. Savitsky, she'll hit the 3. She had 11 points on the day. Then towards the end of the half, Anna Maria Boschkova down on the inside. Pioneers lead at the half, 35-19. Start the second. How about a little shout out to the Pioneer defense? There's a big block there from Jocelyn Peterkin. Then Kristen Beatty there playing the artful dodger with the steal. And one more time, watch the transition offense. Off the block, Point Park going to move things up quickly. Peterkin had the huge block. Inside Peterkin, no-look pass. There's Beatty finishing up the play. Pioneers getting things done on both sides of the ball. Here's Teresa Davis with the 3-ball of her own on the near side. And then end of the game, Point Park all over Carlow. No chance for the Celtics. Ashley Campbell finishing things there. 66-39, Pioneers win. Move on to a record of 21-5. Austin with 11 points, Savitsky with 11 points. And that one would wrap up home court advantage for the Pioneers. We're going to bring in our women's basketball analyst, Matt Desmond, here joining us. And Matt, that's just everything that is Point Park basketball, women's basketball, right there in that Carlow game.
Yeah, you saw the defense was there in that game, and then, the Pioneers' offense came to life. You saw April Austin had some nice offensive production, then Emily Shartner was chipping in. Then you saw some of the reserves get in the game. Anna Maria Boschkova having some very good minutes for the Pioneers. Teresa Davis nailing some threes in that game. So it was a very good all-round production for the Pioneers, and that's what you need going into playoff time. So we're going to see if the Pioneers can have the offense come to life rather than a defense being there the whole game, and then the offense just coming on once they need it. So we'll see if that offense can stay constant throughout the playoffs.
Offense might be a bit of a problem in the game we're going to get to in a second, but that Pioneer defense forced 22 turnovers, 6 blocks, 14 steals against Carlow, and really was no match early on, and Point Park would get the win. Then Saturday, a different matchup, a big AMC matchup between Point Park and Damon. Pioneers traveling up to Amherst, New York. Pioneers got the best of the Wildcats when they visited here. They were ranked 19th in the nation at that time. But hey, things might be a little different. Second time around, there you see the Pioneers in the huddle. They're ready to roll. And you know what? Point Park just was not ready to roll early on. Monica Kozier, she was hot early. And one more time, Kozier finding the play, showing her range from all over the court. 13-1 run to start for the Wildcats. Kozier had 8 points in that 13. Then you see Kristen Beatty trying to get things going for the Pioneers. Driving in off the Aaron pass from Ellen Alley. Bucket and the foul on that one. Donovan a little too aggressive. Then Point Park, some more offense. Peterkin, watch the move here. Just blows by. Donovan goes up using those long legs as speed from Peterkin and makes things happen. Talk about speed. Here comes Andorka down the right side, finishing up. And then also Lindsay Studdard. Watch this play as she just blows behind the Pioneer zone to the inside between. I don't know how she knifed her way through there, but just carved up the Pioneers that time. Getting late in the half, Point Park tying the ball game up there. There's April Austin with the big 3. Then in the final seconds here, they got the last shot. Does Damon find it into Samantha Stanfield? She hits one at the buzzer. They would take the lead 36-34 at the half. Second half, though, not too good of a start for the Pioneers. Once again, Courtney Donovan hits the 3. On her senior night, one more time, step back, 3-ball in the air. That's good as well. She had 11 points on the day. Then some more 3-balls. This is all part of a 21-7 run for the Wildcats. That's Lindsay Studdard one more time. And then Point Park finally waking up. But you know what? That's 10 minutes too late. We're at the 9:20 mark right now, and that's the Point Park's first field goal. It's a Savitsky 3, and there wouldn't be anything there. And the coup de grace, the steal here by Chelsea Andorka finishes it up with the bucket and the foul. Point Park loses 67-51. And Matt, on the senior night for Damon, got the best of Pioneers, and really they they seemed like it didn't show up early on there.
Yeah, you really got to look at the Pioneer team. I mean, when they come out in that game, it was a 13-1 lead for Damon, and Damon really controlled that game until the halfway point for the Pioneers, where they were able to get within two. They tied up 1 point, 34-34. But one thing that really hurt the Pioneers was the size, and Monica Kosher was going on the inside and really was dominating the Pioneers. She scored 8 of the 13 points in that first half for the Damon Wildcats. So she was a very big factor, and she wasn't really relevant in the first game because she was in foul trouble, but really made an impact in that second game and up there in Amherst, New York.
Well, Matt, despite what happened earlier in the week and the loss to Damon, Point Park will clinch. They already clinched home court advantage. They will have some home playoff games here, and also a share of the AMC title. So despite a good regular season for the Pioneers, and the question I have for you, can they flick that switch after the bad game from Damon to turn things on here and when they take on Houghton on Tuesday?
Yeah, I really think they can, Aaron. And one thing that we're going to see from this Pioneer team is the light switch of Tony Grenick. I really think he's going to come to life as a head coach and really get on his team. You know, they've been playing a good style of ball throughout the regular season, but it's playoff time. It's a different gear that the Pioneers are going to have to get in, and their defense has been there the whole season long, but the offense, it has to be a consistent factor for the Pioneers. So you're going to see April Austin. She's going to be one of the leaders for the Pioneers, and she has to be big in this playoff run if they want to make it to the AMC championship game Saturday against that winner of Roberts Wesleyan and Damon.
Now, you had a bone to pick with some of the standings going on. Point Park finished up tied with Damon in the AMC, or for the final AMC voting, Matt, but you told me that you disagree with that.
Yeah, you look at what the Pioneers did this whole season long, and I wasn't really happy with what the head coach of Damon did. He saw what the Pioneers did on the last game on Saturday. The Pioneers, although they lost that game, Damon, they lost to the Pioneers once, and they lost to Roberts Wesleyan once. But the Pioneers, all they did is lost to Damon once, and they lost to Walsh once. So Walsh should be eliminated. They're not in contention for the playoff race. So why should the Damon Wildcats be tied for the number one in the final rankings for the season? So I wasn't really happy about that. But the Pioneers, they're still in the rankings, so they really made up for it on the national level. We'll see if that can transition into the AMC finals when it can possibly take on the Damon Wildcats.
Yeah, Point Park finished it up with a record of 21-6, 12-2 in the AMC. Take out the results from Walsh, those AMC stats would be sitting at 11-1. For Damon, they finished up at 22-6, similar regular season record. And then in the AMC play, they were 12-2 as well. But you mentioned they beat Walsh twice, so they're really 10-2 if you take a look at standings and take out Walsh. Matt, thank you very much for joining us. We're going to bring you back in. We do the Pioneer playbook just a little bit later on. When we come back, we'll have Chris Hoffman filling in to bring you all the men's basketball action just around this block.